I'm going to be talking about photography and how that's one of my favorite art forms, and how it's going to be one of the tiers of this channel that I'll be covering from time to time. So I'm going to have a visual aid for this part of the video. The other ones haven't really had that. And what I like to shoot with, aside from my iPhone, which I'm filming with, I like to shoot with a Canon Rebel T3. It's a camera that my wife and I use. We got it from a good friend of mine. What I started doing, aside from taking urban landscapes when I travel, is kind of, and I did this in New York recently too, is traveling with the camera and a remote shutter so I can take my own menswear photos. So it kind of goes back to the second part of this video with the menswear, which is also informed by the photography, so on and so forth. I first started taking photos on my phone and then a camera later too, because I was creating reference photos for my comic books when I was going to college. So my first foray into photography was actually in service to my art. But when I figured out how much fun it was, I think I started taking pictures just because, it was cool and I enjoyed it. And I definitely remember starting off with urban landscapes, New York City, because I was going to art college in New York City at the time. And then now it's pretty much portraits of myself for the menswear stuff, portraits of friends, family, events, because I'm also an ambassador for the Epic Network, so we do photo shoots and things like that. And I'm just having a blast with it. Like, there's so much that goes into it. It's really a skill. And I was watching a YouTube video, or maybe even reading an article, like just in the age of Instagram, what makes a good photographer. And I think the photographer mentioned, like, anybody can take like a good picture, but like, can you duplicate that? Like, can you duplicate that same level of quality? So that's something I aspire to in all my different forms of photography, is taking great pictures that make me happy as a photographer, but also kind of light up my audience as well. In terms of the menswear photos that I'm taking, and then pretty much how I approach portraits in general, I look at film and TV, and then other photographers too. But I like cinematic lighting. I'm using a hobo light over here to light myself. It's a small 8-watt light. It's called the Micro, and so it's off camera. Using that to light the video. So thinking about lighting, thinking about picture quality, and then sometimes I'll take a picture, I'll post it online without editing it. I usually use Lightroom to edit what I do, but sometimes it's nice to just kind of take something right off the camera and then post it on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. But I really enjoy taking photos that look like they came out of a movie and editing it that way too. But yeah, photography started out in service to my comic book making, my visual artistry. It's kind of taken on a light of its own, especially with the portraits, like I mentioned, and then also still life photography. I really enjoy branding. I mean, I work in marketing, so it makes sense. But I enjoy like taking pictures of like household items, lighting it, staging it in a particular way. And then I even have like a rig so I can shoot overhead and just get some interesting dynamic shots. But I'm just going to continue to be a student where photography is concerned, because it's probably, I'll say it's one of the newer things that I'm into and pursuing seriously, both personally and professionally, like teaching myself about lighting, watching YouTube videos, tutorials, things like that. There's just so much to learn. And then the last thing I'll mention too, I shoot with 2 lenses. I used to shoot with a stock lens on this that comes with the Canon Rebel, but ended up getting a Mikey lens. This is an 85. So I usually use this for portraits and landscapes, because like I can get pretty far with it and still get like an amazing clear picture. And what I'm learning from the 85 is that everything in front of the camera that you're focusing on, it's like super sharp, but everything outside of that, you really get a nice depth of field, meaning everything else is like blurred. So it's pretty cool. This is called the reintroduction, and I hope you have clarity on the topics I'll be covering in my YouTube channel, whether it's art, photography, or menswear. Those are the things that you can come to my channel for, and I look forward to just providing great content. Thanks for watching.